Hello there everyone, Omega Luke here. Hopefully today I can give you a better understanding of when and when not to loan your players out. That is exactly what this episode is going to be about. And during the course of this video, I'm going to be giving you some tips and things to look out for to decide whether to send your player out on loan, who to send a player out on loan to. That is going to be what I'm covering in this video, really to help you develop your players so they look like this type of player that I have in one of my teams on my Youth to Gold series. Now, before we get into this, you might not necessarily ever have to loan a player out, and I will tell you about that side of things as well and show you some examples of me not loaning players out and using them immediately or not using them immediately. We'll cover all grounds here, so hopefully by the end of this video, your decision making on whether to send players out on loan will improve and you'll get the best out of every player you possibly can and start creating those wonder kids into the world-class players you all wish that they turn into. So I've come up with a theory and a method for doing this, for deciding whether to send them out on loan or not, and it is down to 3 factors. So the first factor is whether they will get playtime at your club. Makes sense, doesn't it? If you have an 18-year-old and he's just as good as the players you're currently using, put him into your side. Use him early because he's only going to improve. Or even if he's just slightly not as good, play him in there. See what he can do. It might be too early. You might find yourself just leaving him on the bench a couple of games and then bringing him on. As long as he's getting the game time within your first side, play him in some of the cup games that you're not necessarily too bothered about. But blood him in with your first team players as well. Don't chuck a full youth squad out there. Make sure you chuck in every now and then if you're against like a bottom of the league side. Play a youngster. See what they can do. It makes sense to do that. Next up is determination and personality. If the player you are planning on developing has bad determination or doesn't have a very good personality, you might not want to send him out on loan, because what you want to do is keep him in your side to develop that determination and improve the personality that he has through the mentoring groups. And finally, and probably the most important factor on whether to send a player out on loan is the club you're sending him out on loan to. Too many people, and I am just as bad for doing this, just offer out to clubs on loan. They get loads of offers through and they just accept every single one. Do not do that, and I'm going to tell you for why. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to show you a couple of players who I have sent out on loan and they have really benefited from that. One being the one that you've seen earlier, Ahmed Mahmoud. Now, this guy is exceptional. Of course, he is Egyptian, £45 million he is now worth, playing in that cam role, and he's only 23. This is the second season I'm using him in my first team squad. And as you can see, he's been to a few different teams. So first of all, when I bought him for 230k from Egypt, I sent him out on loan to Montpellier. And the first season, he played 34 games, 9 goals, 9 assists. He did really well. Second season, again, didn't get as much out of him the second season round, but he still did play every single game. That's the most important thing. He then came back, didn't play him again. I sent him back out on loan. And unfortunately for me, as much as sometimes it does say they will play every game, etc., etc., he didn't. Just 2 games he played at Copenhagen, so that was disappointing. When he came back though, 32 games, 3 goals, 11 assists, he broke into my first team, and now he is sitting in my first team as one of my most important players so far. He's not having a bad season, not having a great one though, but how good does he look? His attributes are insane. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say about the regen face. It's a lady called Chilled Moose on Twitter. I pledged her a Patreon page for graphics just like this to make the game look more aesthetically pleasing. And the skin is called OPZ Elite. You can find it on the FM Scout website. Another player I sent out on loan was this man, Jean Gauthieron, who also plays in the cam role and fluctuates between the first team and coming off the bench with Ahmed Mahmoud. Now this man, I sent him on loan loads of times. So as you can see, I bought him for £8 million, loaned him out to Clermont Foot. He didn't have too many games. Amiens, Montpellier again, so he actually played with Mahmoud. And then Club Brugge, and as you can see, a loan fee of £1.5 million across the whole time. So that was worth it, because at this point he was exceptionally good. He hasn't played as much, which might have stunted his development slightly, but he's still sitting at 163 current ability, one of the best centre attacking midfielders in the world, and he's just 22 years old, so I can still help him grow, and I'll definitely make a profit on him. Nonetheless, I spent £8 million on him, and I was worried at one point, but he's come through and he's developed nicely. And I'm going to show you a player that I have out on loan at the minute. And this is the reason why I sent him out on loan. So we have Mateo Neves, and he is a Uruguayan 18-year-old who has just joined the club. And I sent him straight out on loan immediately. The reason for that, as I said earlier, what you prioritize, your priorities are the three factors that you are looking for. I'm not going to be playing him in my first team. He's not good enough yet. And cup-wise, he wouldn't really make the bench. So, the second one, priority, is his personality and his determination. He has 17 determination, 17 work rate, 18 teamwork. He has all of that already. I think he has a resolute personality. That's a good one. I know that. So, for me, I need him to get first team football, so I've sent him out on loan. And the team I sent him out to is Tenerife. Now, they are playing in La Liga. So, what the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is the factors that you need to look at when sending a player out on loan. And I'll briefly go over my decision sending this man out. So, first and foremost, they had good training facilities and they're playing in La Liga. To me, that means I need to be sending him here because I know he's playing at a high standard of league and they have good training facilities to make sure he keeps his development ticking over. So once you've gone through those three factors and decided, yes, the right thing for this player is to be sent out on loan to get some game time. He has good determination. His personality is good. He has all of that. That's fine. I'm not going to be giving him game time at this club. He would just be sat in the under-19s or the under-21s or in the reserve side. He would benefit from first team football in a different league or the same league. I need to send him out on loan. The next thing is when you get those offers through, what to do with them. And so we have another priority list. The first and foremost, though, on this list is where they are going to. What league are they playing in? Is it a good enough standard? So when you have all of the offers through, of course, make sure you pick the one that says regular starter. Don't send him out on loan to be playing on someone's bench, because that's just, you might as well have him at your club. If they're going to be going out on loan, make sure they all say regular starter at least, or even squad player at least, so you know that they're going to be rotated and used. Don't have them so they're a backup or anything like that. The next thing to look at is the training facilities. Make sure they have decent training facilities, good at the very least. Or if you're in the lower leagues, you know what to do. Just look to sort of fluctuate between what you roughly have. If you have very good training facilities, it's pointless sending them somewhere where the facilities are so bad, it's going to stunt their growth. So make sure when you send them, if you're at one of the top league sides in Europe, you look for good at the very least training facilities or great training facilities. State of the art, of course, is the perfect one. If you send them to a club and they have state of the art facilities, they want to play them regularly, pick that club. And if you're still finding multiple teams where they're willing to obviously play them as much as possible, they both have good training facilities, they both play in the same sort of similar standard of league, just accept both. However, if you do want to dive more into it and really think about it, have a look at the players at that club. Do they have good personalities? Do they play in the formation that you want your player to be playing in? Pick a team over the formation that they are using. Do they have other players in his position which may end up taking his spot, and therefore, like my Egyptian player there, never actually play him even as much as what they promised to do? Making sure that your player is going to go there and be vital to this team so that he gets played as much as physically possible and becomes one of their most important players. That's what you want to do from a loaned club. And so, I have offered a couple of my players out on loan here. First and foremost, we have Pauleta. He is a Brazilian centre-back, a very good one as well. Some incredible attributes we have on our hands here. Grêmio, first and foremost, playing in the Serie A, which is the Brazilian top division, or Galatasaray. Now, they're both offering to be a star player. So, he's going to be the best player at their club. And he will play the most amount of games. Grêmio, of course, he comes from Brazil, so we know that could be a good thing. They are currently playing a centre midfielder there at centre back. I know that. They have excellent training facilities though, so that's also quite good. The standard of the Brazilian league is nothing to be snuffed at. It's not too bad. Galatasaray though, they have average training facilities, so that's not as good. The Turkish league, is it better than the Brazilian league standard-wise? They're going to be playing against better players. I think in this situation, I would 100% go with Grêmio. That would be the club I would send him to. Secondly, here we have Ion Mahuts, who is a Romanian centre-back / centre defensive midfielder at our club, 19 years old. He's on the fringe of our club, so I'm okay with sending him out. He has good determination. That's fine. When I offered him out, we had a few different clubs come in for him. A lot of them only saying squad player. And of course, there's only actually one which says regular starter, that being Montpellier, who just seem to love our loanees. Now, imagine if all of these clubs here were all saying important player or regular starter, the minimum requirement that I would want to send that out, because as it stands, he's going to Montpellier. If I send him out on loan, that's the only club he's going to go to, which wouldn't be a bad thing. They have superb training facilities. They are playing in the same league as me, and they're currently 4th in the division as well. So if he's playing for them at centre-back or CDM at the same league, and they're up there with me, that's not too bad at all. I'm happy with that. Superb training facilities, one and done, happy days. But on the off occasion that all of these clubs all say that they want our man to be a regular player, I would sift through them. I would go through each time. Superb training facilities, yes. And if one of them wasn't superb, then I'd reject it immediately. So as we go down the list here, I think Nice might be the first one that isn't. They are. Every single club here is going to be a superb training facilities. Toulouse, they only are great. So Toulouse immediately would be a reject. Go down. Dijon, I'd imagine they're exactly the same. Average. Definitely not going to Dijon, and so on and so forth. We also have the option there of sending him to the Bundesliga if I don't want him to be playing in the same league as me, so that he doesn't stifle my chances of winning the league, etc. Then I can send him abroad, and make sure you do that as well. If you're thinking about, well, they could be title contenders against me, don't let them play against you or end up helping the other club beat you to the league title. That's embarrassing. Think about the structure of the league, where they are sitting, where you're sitting. Are they going to benefit you from staying in the same league as you? And of course, finally, then go through the clubs and look at the formation they are playing. Of course, this is a centre-back. Every formation has centre-backs. It's not necessarily too important. But say we wanted him to play as the CDM role. We can see here, Lyon, they have a CDM formation. Nice, they have a CDM formation, whereas Marseille, they didn't have one. It could be. It doesn't look like it is. So that would be the decision there. Montpellier, are they playing a CDM role? They look like they could be as well. So that is also something to consider. Then I'd go through their captain. Is their captain a leader? He has good determination. Go through each player. Have a look at the players that they have in the squad. So if we say go through to the senior squad, sort by position. How many CDMs do they have? They've got quite a few there. How many centre-backs do they have? They don't seem to have a lot. Maybe this guy will be a starter. I'm happy to send him to that club. So there we have it, guys. That is what I would do, and my tips and advice for looking for players, or when to send players out on loan. As a quick recap then, to decide first and foremost whether they need to go out on loan or not, first thing you need to think about is the playtime. Will they play for your club? We're just going to summarise here, by the way. Will they play for your club? Do they have good personality and good determination already to leave to another club? And will it benefit them from going out and getting game time? Then, of course, like I mentioned there, it is the club that goes to. Look at their training facilities, look at the league format to decide whether or not who is the best option that you need to send this player to. And there we have it, guys. I hope that helps. Please drop a like on the video if you can. That would be fantastic. The more likes and comments that you guys leave, the better these videos do, the more likely we are going to release some more. Let us know down in the comments if there's anything that you want some help with. I mentioned mentoring there. I know a lot of people don't know a lot about mentoring, so if that's something you want to see, let us know down in the comments. Or if there's anything else that we can help you with, let me know and I can surely make a video for just that. My name is Luke. I have my own channel as well, which you can see on the screen before one of my saves, the Youth to Gold save. You can find that on my channel. Luke Gaming, the link is down in the description or at the end of the video. I'll see you next time, guys, for another one. Bye bye.